Let's peek episode 8 of Barbarian's Bride. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and Patreon. You can catch the full live reactions over there. But let's jump into this bad boy. Oh, here we go. Oh, dust in the face. Clever. Damn. She's going to be like, that's fighting dirty. But here's the thing. What does honor do to a dead man, right? So the only reason it's never come off is because... Wow. That means even at her most feisty, she actually liked him enough that it stayed on. Yeah, give it a good stroke. That awkward moment when you think that you've been a slave and it's only recently that you've started to have opinions of them. Turns out, nah, you've been having opinions the whole time. She's like, I want to be a hot grandma. So he's gonna get doused in water, whispered sweet sexiness into his ear, and then he's gonna give her a gift. I love how she's playing both sides. She's manipulating both in two different ways, but both are gonna be effective on the other, clearly. I feel like what we're building into is eventually he's gonna see her without the necklace on. He's like, why don't you just put it back on? And she'll be like, that's what I'm trying to do. Oh my god. He looks like a fucking shoujo MC. Yo, that's a hell of a thing to remember to put on a fucking necklace again, huh? It's sweet because of the chant, but this is just way too much to put on and off a piece of necklace. Poor woman. Honestly, I think Cersei's gonna have to marry her. Listen, for no specific reason, nor will there be two specific reasons, I really like this mother. The thing is she definitely be doing too much, but this is kind of the rare case of her doing too much is actually beneficial to the main couple, because as we've grown to understand the barbarian culture more and more, and most importantly understanding our girl and her feelings and her blossoming feelings for the barbarian lord, it's been very clear she's been growing quite attached. But if you allow these two to move at their own pace, Grandma will probably be dead by the time grandkids are even a thing. And as she says, she wants to still look good when the grandkids are, first around. So the fact that she teaches her how to take off the engagement necklace, which is still one of the craziest plot twists, because ultimately during their little scrap, it gets dirty. And in order to take it off, all you have to do is you have to willingly want it to be taken off, which is a very funny turn of events because it confirms that at no point has she wanted that thing off. That despite her mumbling in the early stages, she was actually pretty good with sticking around these parts, which is how I've been examining her character from the beginning. But it's very funny seeing this realization that the whole time she could have had it off. That it was never a collar, she never felt trapped. And honestly, that's why I've really liked this show, because it hasn't been like some of the other shows where like they act like they're a prisoner, but they clearly could leave at any moment. From the beginning, like mine is like one or two moments, she's been pretty like, I'm investigating things because you guys intrigue me. But the reasonable assumption to put it back on would be the will to put it back on. Turns out there's a whole chant you have to do, but it's hilarious, man, because she comes up with the most diabolical way to get them to be more intimate, which is okay, there's a ritual. You gotta sneak up behind your man, pour some water on him, cover his eyes, and whisper sweet sexiness into his ears. And it becomes this whole Looney Tunes-ass adventure, as then Vior starts realizing she's acting weird, so then Mom says, well, go catch her some food. Like, she's just the ultimate wingman. Like, she's absolutely a scoundrel, and honestly, I think this is probably pretty tame of things she would like to attempt to do, but kind of restrains herself just because other people say, hey, ma'am, you might be doing a little too much. But it's absolutely hilarious, and I think this show, the biggest surprise about it has been the actual comedy being well thought out, but most importantly, a legitimate romance you want to root for and you focus on, right? Because at the end of the day, she started out on the complete opposite side of this culture, right? Thinking they were these barbarian scum and we need to fight to protect our peace. But very quickly she realized this culture has a lot more to offer than probably even her own, and there's probably a lot you can learn in order to even help her own culture. But the thing is she legitimately likes the people here. The general soldiers are very nice, they're proud, and hell, even when she's killed people on their side, potentially their family members, their concept of life and death is so much healthier than her own. There's not this pointless hatred, it's just cooperation. No wonder she's falling in love with this culture, because this culture is objectively superior to that of her own. They don't suffer, and they're just in general way more connected. They're way more thoughtful with each other. So it makes total sense that you would naturally blossom a loving dynamic with the leader, who's probably keeping that type of dynamic going. And I mean, they have fun with the whole, like, when he's clean shaven, she's even more attracted to him. She throws the water, he's looking like a shoujo MC. It's just absolutely hilarious. And I mean, is this show gonna be for everyone? Of course not. Do I expect Demon Slayer level discussion for an episode? No. But the thing about it is that at face value, it's hard to figure out what the show was going to be from the beginning. And the fact that it's mostly a romance between two different cultures that would normally not interact. But of course, you know, as we got into the show, we learned that a lot of her people do come over, including Mother MILF in question. It's great to see how they're blossoming it, because it's legitimately one of the more impressive romances in recent memory. It has a little bit of action. It has a little bit of funniness, especially with a sister who continues to get so petrified she needs head pats to revive her. There's so much to explore, and I mean, I'm not sure how many seasons a show like this should last, because there's obviously the long-term plot both on the Barbarian side with like these plague-like beasts coming in and running amok, her own people's starvation, and then the interpersonal relationships. But if you gave me at least a couple more cores worth of this show adapted, I think I would gladly be there, and potentially even longer. It's ridiculous, it's funny, it's cute, and I think one of the biggest praises I can give is I thought the joke would be that the necklace would immediately work again, and then she would then just continue to think that she always has to do this little gag in order to put it back on. But the fact that she realized that no, it's this romantic speech you have to give, it made her fall in love with him all the more. And yeah, I mean, she's a little clueless. She doesn't realize she, you know, by not having it removed this whole time means that she was absolutely wanting it on the whole time. But still, it's very cute, because you also have his, like, his a little, it's shameful, but he feels a little ashamed that, you know, the whole time he was supposed to be the one to explain what it was, and then because his mother did it, he's just like, okay, I'll let it be, sort of a thing. And it kind of made him feel like less of a man, and he felt, you know, a little sad that he didn't man up and explain his feelings. But this kind of makes up for it. And between these two's interactions this episode, I feel like they've definitely blossomed into an even more powerful couple. But really great stuff. I mean, this show has been a very pleasant surprise for me. I expected to like it, but I wasn't sure exactly what we were getting into. And the more I see of it, the more I love it. All I can say is bring on season 2 already. But you can let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think of this week's episode of Barbarian's Bride? Make sure you leave a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, and Patreon. Full live reactions to all the episodes live over there, and other exclusives. So, you know, I got to give those video shows because my patrons make it all possible over here on YouTube. All right, so today we got Keegan Miller, Ert Swanson, Jan Peterson, Zeekster, Michael Latham, Ian, Athmil, Kakako, and we also have Big Boy Jay. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.